Welcome back, Profit Takers. It's Victoria here. We're back with another episode. And today we're going to talk about probably one of the best signals that you can get from the dashboard, right? And this is the one. It's the two peak formation, whether it's a two peak formation high or a two peak formation low, right? This is technically 3 days of the market building up for you to take a trade. Now, that trade can either be a continuation or a reversal, right? And typically, it could be a continuation within the trend. For this example, now Friday was, non-farm. It wasn't really a tradable day technically because it's just one huge bar. There was no way to get back into this beautiful continuation. And the reversal, you got some, maybe you took the reversal, I don't know. But, it wasn't one of those days that gave a beautiful reversal and then you got a decent bounce off of that as well, right? But nonetheless, it was there, right? So let's just get to the point of the video, which is this two peak formation, which is technically your third day trade. So for many of this indicator is built off of BTMM. And since then, I've been adding things that I've been learning from Stacy Burke. And one of those things is, I didn't add anything here other than not the day count, right? The day count is still a manual thing, okay? But I did adjust the open range high. I added the initial balance, okay? We know that's Tuesday's extension of the range, right? I added that. And then, let's see what else. Yeah, that was pretty much it. Now, the open range, usually when I learned it was the Asia's high and low. But now I use Monday's entire range, high and low, throughout the week. The count, guys, what really brought this home for me was the count. So I count. So this day right here is where we had the peak low. So that is where I count my one. Right. And then here's two and then here's three. So that's why I call this the 3-day trade. This signal is technically a 3-day trade. I do not feel like I need to change anything on this right now, right? To show that this is a 3-day trade. But you should be able to see this is the setup for it. Now, the one thing that I did add was the previous day high low count. So this is, great when you want to see that price is already broken outside of yesterday's range, which is yesterday's high or low, and to see if today, if you have an opportunity to continue, right, which is one of the best trades, which is out of balance, right, continue to be, to trade that or not. So, so we had our new peak right here and put in a nice high for us, which was broken easily on Thursday, which was our day 2 trend. Okay, we had a high, right? And this is a signal for a dump and a pump, as we can see, and then we had another high right here on the inside, and that, okay, the super duper clue that, we're going long, building this W. Okay, so that was the day 2 trend trade that worked out beautifully. Now, this signal for that would be a one peak formation, one previous day high. Now, would this break have happened already? Perhaps, because it would have happened, right? This right here already broke the high. So you could have come to the chart and saw that, okay, it already broke. So, okay, let's see where we're at. You know what I'm saying? We'll see where we're at. I'm looking for that second high, this higher low in the inside, or the higher high in the inside, however you want to look at it. To take this day 2 trend trade. So this signal and this signal are like my favorite ones, right? They're absolutely my favorite ones. Now you have the end of day, which tells you that price closed up or price closed down. Okay. So in this instance, on Friday, we can see here the most recent thing that price did close above here. Okay. But here's the thing. We're going to wait to see. This was the way this was done, even though this is clear that this was above the open price, right? And it's oftentimes that could mean that we're also looking continue to go higher, but I'm going to wait because for this particular instrument, we are already at the max of the ADR, right? It could possibly come through here and, who knows if it's going to come back to the high, guys, or and then start breaking down, or maybe it comes to the high and then it resets and goes back up. Like, I don't know what's going to happen on Monday because this one's already at the high and doing its thing. So this is not going to be an instrument that I'm going to be looking to do anything on Monday. All right, I'm just going to wait for the prices for them. I'm going to wait for it to set up. But I wanted to show you those are like the two best signals. But hands down, the 3-day trade is probably the best one as well. Okay. So as you can see here, it showed the 2 days of break because again, here was where price broke the previous day high. So now you're like, okay, price broke the high. So we're above open price, hopefully, right? Because here's the open price or the close price. Now, Stacy uses close price. I don't have, that's going to be something I'm adding to this. This is MT5. On MT4, I have all the indicators. I don't need to add anything to my dashboard, but for the MT5 version, I will because I don't have that indicator here for the close price. But we're above close price. Okay. We're getting support from that. And we're also getting support from the previous day high. So that right there, that behavior is telling me that we're going to be going long, which we did. And then it coiled. It did the little coil up and then it just shot off. Now, again, this was not really a tradable, it wasn't really tradable, but any other day when this happens, you usually have an opportunity to get into the market if you're not already in the market. Okay. So that's why I say this signal is the best. When you get this indicator, guys, you get to try it for 2 weeks. So that's, several opportunities for you to wait for these particular signals to take the trade. Okay. Same thing. Let's look at the DJ, right? Same thing with DJ. We had the peak, right? On Wednesday. This was a new, extended the range. We had a W, failed. Now we have a new peak low, right? And then that high didn't take this high out. We're not looking at that at this moment. But, day 2 comes and we have an opportunity. And I remember taking this one short, right? And then we had an opportunity to go long here. Right. And this was another news day, I believe it was. I mean, it was really difficult to trade these things, especially at the end of the session. I'm not really a fan of that, especially with the futures. Now that I trade futures, I'm not really a fan of taking anything in power hour or anything like that. I just I want my trading sessions to be, I'm just going to say 12, right? I want to be done within this period of time. And this is central time for me. Okay. But 11 definitely is a goal to be done, right? But I had to wait to kind of see how markets were behaving this last week, because we had, it's a new month, new timing cycle, right? What are we looking at? So anyway, we had our high. This is a beautiful day 2 trend. Remember, this is how I count it now, right? But it also fell right along with how Stacy counts it. And if you were still counting it like this would have been how BTM counts it. But I don't count it like this, guys. But that's how the indicator is developed. So just know that this 2 is the 3rd day trade, and that is what you want to look for. So you come to the markets on the 3rd day. By the time you get here, it already broke the previous day high. As you can see, we had this high right there. So it already broke it. Right, another great trade. This one gave us opportunity. If again, the long trade was not tradable. That was the news, right? And then an opportunity for the reversal. I think that was at the open at 9 o'clock, 9:30. Right, 9:30 was the open. So that was a great trade to take the actual reversal. Now remember, these trades, when you're taking the reversal, you're not here holding on to this trade. Okay, you're taking the reversal, preferably to where the breakout started is where you want to take your profit. So good area right there. Okay. Now, as you can see, there was plenty of opportunities on Friday. It was a great, like again, it wasn't a tradable day based on the news, but if you did on a normal market conditions, this would have been a great trade to take because you would have had an opportunity to get in. Most of those trades that happened were all the news candles, and they were just one huge gigantic candle, right? And I just think it's just too risky. I just don't want to do it. Okay. So let's see. GU. It looks like let's look at GJ. I'm still in GU there. So GJ gave you, now this is a 4. So we'll talk about 4 the next time. But nonetheless, let's go back to let's look at, I wanted to look at NQ because this was a 1. As we know, DJ confirmed on Wednesday, right? But this one confirmed a reset. When I see this happen on the same type, so the indices often always mirror one another. I look at this as just a reset, okay, to the low, because it actually went pretty much right. It took out yesterday's low just a tad, as you can see that. So it reset. Okay. So when it resets like that, now I am looking at, oftentimes when it resets like that, this was the high, right? Oftentimes this day will break that high. On the reset only is when I would count it as a 1, manually count it as a 1. The indicator is not going to count it as a 1 because it's counting the next day, which we did break it. Okay. Right. So this is where the indicator, I can't even, sorry guys, I can't even draw. So this is where the indicator is counting this as a 1. But for me, I'm counting this as a 1 here. And then, this is a 2. Okay. So Monday comes and I'm going to count that as a 3 breaks. Okay. But the indicator, because this is a reset, right? We can see that price literally took out the previous day on Wednesday. So it reset as a 1. Then this is going to be our 1. And then we're looking at a 2. Technically is what you'll see on the indicator on Monday, right? So I'm looking for this one to continue, right? This could also be one of those things where, okay, we have, you see this pin up there? This could do something like this, right? It could break down. It could totally do that. We have to wait to see what happens, right? Okay, it could break down and then it could start going back up to 380R. So I'm going to wait to see how this plays out on Monday. But again, Monday for the NASDAQ, this is going to turn to a 2. Okay. 1, 2, 3. It's going to be our 3rd day trade. I'm thinking it's going to be our 3rd day reversal. That's what I'm thinking. But we'll see when prices start to auction. We're going to see where it does it. Like right now, this is the close. Okay. And then, of course, the previous day high is going to be sitting right up there as well. I made that a little bit higher just so we can have 2 lines because they're kind of close to each other. And I'm wondering if this is going to come down here and then give us a short opportunity and then be able then to take a reversal back up. That's what I'm thinking. It's just what it looks like right now. So that's how we would look at a possible 3-day reversal trade. Okay. All right. So let's see. I mean, Friday was just one of those days. It's just one of those days where if you're trying to trade the New York pairs. It was one candle. Now some of these, like look at EuroCAD. This was one of my other favorite setups, right? This is what I call the day 2 trend trade. Okay. This one gave us a beautiful, we had our peak low, boom, closed inside. So I'm going to mark that off. We had our low of the day. And I am also seeing the closing price would have been right there, or open price. So it did what we expected it to do. We gave us a nice high right here on the inside. This is a huge clue, okay, because it's still within this particular range. And then we had a dump, boom, pump. And that was a beautiful trade. Okay. It's probably one of the easier ones. This one and the dollar CAD, I think, were one of the best trades. But otherwise, the dollar CAD also did the same thing, but it dropped violently, right, with the news. But the actual reversal came in nicely in New York. But was I paying attention to it? No. All right, I had too many other things I was paying attention to, just being just totally not, you know how it is. You get tunnel vision, right? So anyway, so yeah, so that is that. Okay, those are the 2 best signals that I recommend that you take while you're trying this thing out. All right, you're trying this indicator out. I want you to just only focus on those 2 setups that I already showed you, but definitely the 2 peak formation, high or low, being your go-to setup. Okay. Now look at EJ. Now we knew EJ, the yen was not really, we had problems with the yen. So this particular one, I'm looking at this to go short on Monday, only because nothing happened on Friday, right? And we still look like we need to break. Actually, did we? We did break it. Yep. We broke that low. So I'm looking for this thing to break it once more, right, before anything else happens. So it could break it. Who knows how much of a break it's going to be, and then we could possibly eventually get a reversal. But I'm definitely looking for that to break. But this one's not even going to be on my radar. I just picked on this just to look at it, take a quick peek on it, and I just like, oh, okay, this one didn't do anything. So usually when we have a range day like this, we can often expect a big movement after this, right? Because this is technically, sitting in a range, somewhat still inside of Wednesday's range. And usually explosive moves come from markets that are just, I guess you can also say a coiled market. Okay. And it's coiled for the whole day Friday. So there's a setup right there too. All right, guys. So that's it. Keep it simple. We're looking at taking trades. And, another thing that Stacy Burke emphasizes all the time, taking the trades from the low of day, high of day, or the open price, any one of those major levels. And of course, at the right timing window. You don't want to be trying to hold on to this stuff too soon or a little too late, because sometimes you can miss it. And sometimes a move had already happened and you're looking for that move to happen in your session, but it's not happening in your session because it already happened in the previous session. So that's why you have so many instruments to go and look to see what's still going to move, right, in my session. And that's what I do. I'm like, okay, let me go look at all these 2 peak formation trades and see what is moved already, what's going to move, what hasn't moved yet, what opportunity do I still have, okay? And so, yeah, look, Euro USD, it's not a favorite one of mine because it's like, the pips are just so ridiculous low. Anyway, we had the low, actually this low, the initial balance failed, retest, beautiful. This was probably the best trade. This was a day 3 trade also, which turned into the 1. Okay. And then we had a day 2, which beautifully came to this level, gave us a W, beautiful. And then day 3, right, which also did the same with the news. Again, this was probably just one gigantic bar that was, in my opinion, untradeable. And then we had a reversal that did come in at 9 o'clock, 9:30. Okay, so this would have been technically your three levels of rise, and now this particular pair could end up reversing, right? And then before it goes back up, or maybe, maybe the whole trend changes. I don't know what's going to happen when, Monday. But as you can see, this 3-day trade signal played out beautifully. Okay. All right, guys, that is all we have for today. And I'm sure we'll be back with another video covering the same simple setups that are just beautiful and easy to take and very low stress. Okay, guys. All right. So I will see you guys in the next one. Have a great day. Ciao for now.